COVID-19 pandemic. We're also looking at the recent move to place the country on alert level 2 of the nationwide lockdown. And while the move has largely been welcomed, some have actually questioned the impact that it may have on an already ailing, especially small and medium businesses. And the new restrictions come with a curfew of between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. And the number of people allowed at indoor events has now been increased to 250 and 500 for outdoor gatherings. Non-essential establishments such as restaurants, bars, gyms, they may now close at 10 p.m. and the sale of alcohol for off-site consumption has been extended from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Kganki Matabane is the Chief Executive Officer of the Black Business Council. He joins us now to talk about this a little more. Kganki, good to speak to you again. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina, and the viewers.
So your reaction to the move for the amendment of the alert level 2 and the lockdown regulations that we will now adhere to?
We do welcome the move. It's a move in the right direction. But remember, lockdown levels and lockdowns in general, those were basically temporary measures, and they're not supposed to be there forever. We're supposed to find a lasting and long-lasting solution, which has been, if you look at Europe and the US, it's a medical solution. We have to make sure that the majority of our citizens are vaccinated so that we can reopen the economy. Remember, the economy is interlinked. So if one sector is opened, and the other sector is not opened, like tourism, restaurants, and so on, it affects the other sectors because the customers of one sector may be working in another sector. So what we should be focusing on as a country, we should be focusing on getting everyone who's eligible to be vaccinated so that we can reopen the economy. The partial reopening of the economy is not necessarily assisting. As you've seen the figures of the economic growth, we are not even at the level where we were pre-COVID. And then the solution can only be the reopening of the economy. But it's the responsibility of all of us, all the social partners, being government, business, labor, and everyone to make sure that at least everyone is safe when the economy is reopened.
Kganki, has there been sufficient support, though, from government in the meantime in order to just cushion that blow of the loss of trading brought on by the lockdown restrictions?
The support has been very, very insufficient. There have been measures that the government tried to come up with, like the loan guarantee scheme, the 200 billion one that did not work. So there hasn't been much successful interventions. Hence, we're saying the permanent solution is for the economy to reopen so that people can go on with their life and trade amongst themselves, so that we can deal with unemployment. We cannot have a successful country where we've got where we're basically beating the world with the wrong indicators. We've got the highest youth unemployment in the world. That on its own is not sustainable. And the sooner we deal with that by reopening the economy, the better for all of us, even for the sustainability of the democracy.
What needs to be done in the short to medium term, though, Kganki, to rectify this situation and this against these restrictions? What can be done?
Well, I think when you've got a crisis in any country, you basically take all your efforts to deal with the crisis. Our crisis is, as we see it, is vaccine hesitancy, which may have been caused by many other factors, beliefs, and so on. So when you have that type of a problem, all the efforts for everyone in the country should be to encourage people to vaccinate, because that is a short and medium. So that is a short, medium, and long term. Because once everyone is vaccinated, we have seen the evidence all over the world. So the doubt should be removed, because the evidence indicates otherwise. Indicates that when the majority of the citizens are vaccinated, the economy automatically reopens, and then that on its own will then deal with the unemployment, deal with the economic growth, and then allow all the citizens to participate in the economy.
And of course, we've seen the utter devastation and total closure of some of these small and medium enterprises. But are we starting to see a recovery, Kganki? And if so, to what extent?
We are starting to see some recovery, but it's not sufficient enough. If you saw the economy grow by 1.2% in the last quarter, but remember in the previous quarter, the same quarter last year, the economy actually contracted by around 17%. So if you look at the recovery is not sufficient enough to bring any significant economic recovery in the country to create the jobs that we need. So we need them to do something different and something more impactful, so that the economy can recover more and we can create more jobs than what has happened.
And just finally, I think the president indicated that he will be addressing us again soon, hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so. Do you actually have regular discussions, whether it be with the president or the councils that sit independently to actually discuss some of these matters? Do you have representation on them, and what sort of input would you be making?
Yeah, we do have engagements with the various levels of government, the presidency, one of them, ministers. We also engage with the NAT joints at NETLEC. So we do make inputs there. But as you may know, you can only make input. It doesn't mean it's decisions. Decisions are still taken by government and the cabinet. But we make our inputs to say, let's do everything in our powers to reopen the economy. At least if we can be able to reopen the economy by the end of the year, and then avoid the anticipated wave. That would be good for our country.
Kganki Matabane, let's leave it there for today. Kganki is the Chief Executive Officer of the Black Business Council, talking to us there again, as we have been focusing earlier as well on just the impact of these lockdown restrictions on businesses and what they are doing, what they have done, and what needs to be done. So we'll obviously continue to keep an eye on developments in that particular sector. As I have to tell you, I have a